I just learned? I just learned that I was right. Oh, sometimes that is so satisfying to say, but I was right. They were pumping out and selling off public water to private companies and billionaires. That's why there's no money or no water in the reservoirs. It is stolen. They went through Gavin Newsom and have been pumping it out of the ground for about 10 years now. California's public water was privatized by Gavin Newsom. Only he could push through the legislation to allow a billionaire to buy public water. It's a crime. It's a huge crime. It's bigger than a felony. It's bigger than... I'm not going to say it. But if they do not march Gavin Newsom out of office and freeze every asset that he owns, like they do to Americans, I can't say what I'm going to do. I don't want to get in trouble. Anyway, they did sell it all off, just like we said. And why Newsom and this billionaire couple, the Resnicks, Linda and Stewart, who are withholding money or withholding water from California so they can't put out the fires. This billionaire couple worked with Gavin Newsom to put legislation into office to allow the purchase of public water and public lands. So our government doesn't own our public lands that we pay taxes on. Some private individual with billions of dollars does, and they don't care what happens to you. They are murderers, and they have encouraged the devastation to go on while telling Gavin Newsom, no, just go to the feds and get some more money. We would like to have more, because 35% of every donation on Gavin's link for the disaster relief goes to them, the Democrat Party, who work for Resnick, goes to their homes, hangs out on holidays, goes on vacations using our tax dollars, our planes, our infrastructure for the rich. Really? And people said, no, you're crazy. You're crazy. Just because they squashed the Californians who had channels on YouTube that were showing the pumping out of the groundwater from those underground reservoirs. Should have been enough to warn you. But no, you don't want to believe that. For a whole year I've been seeing it. Yet you don't want to see it. So why are Linda and Stewart Resnick owning government land, government water? Every asset this wealthy family has, these wealthy people, they need to have it all forfeited. Every red cent, every asset removed. They don't deserve the money they stole. They don't deserve the water they stole from our government. They stole federal land. They stole federal water and will not help California put out those fires. They have access to all the water, but they won't go claim it and demand their water be returned. Why isn't Gavin Newsom doing that? No, Gavin Newsom wants to cover his backside and hope to get billions more of your money. You work hard, Californians. Do you think you deserve this? Do you? Because they're still squashing the voice of the average Californian. Their channels are shut down. Nobody's able to even hear or see what is happening to them. They're shut down. All you've got is big media blowing up all this and putting Gavin out there like he's some rock star when he is the biggest perpetrator of arson and murder in California. He endorsed the sale of public land and public water to a billionaire family that is going to leave you all in California to starve, homeless, now having to carry the weight of immigrants and the millions of homeless. They're just hoping you're going to run away because BlackRock, Vanguard, and all the big companies like JP Morgan are already putting in bids for your land. They just want you to leave. This is to drive the average American out so that they can replace those jobs with automation and AI, like most of them have done, so they can force a dangerous car on you that the battery explodes while you're in traffic or while it's sitting in your driveway. Do you really feel safe knowing Newsom is still walking a free man? He sold your water, he sold your public lands, he sold you on a bad car that is dangerous for people to drive, dangerous to even park in your driveway. 3 house fires in California caused by EVs parked in the driveway. 3. And that was just over the last 6 months. And I'm sure there's more that's not reported. Because I see a lot of Californians who were going, I can't afford the electricity to operate my car. How am I supposed to get to work? There's no public transportation. And if I go and get on a bus, I got to deal with cartels robbing me blind. I got to deal with people beating me up because I'm not woke. Woke is a joke with a bad punchline. And it's time people hear that. Woke is a joke with a bad punchline for woke people and the rest of us. Now they're screaming, save us, save us. We can't. I can't donate because every link goes to Gavin Newsom's campaign website where 35% of my donation is taken and given to his campaign for presidency. This is fraud. That is not a disaster relief. That's disaster extortion. And Californians don't deserve this. I don't care about the border wars. I really, right now, that is the least of my worries. The people from other countries and Americans are in that state Gavin Newsom is willing to burn to the ground to get his money. Enough. Enough. When do we stop it? When are they going to put that man in cuffs? He has, at least through negligence, just negligence, on that count alone, he has caused the death of over 25 people that they're counting. Of course, they are not counting the death toll accurately because there were millions of illegals and homeless people on the streets the day the fires broke out. I was watching. I watched the panic. I watched the fear in Californians' faces on their own YouTube while they were being burned out. I don't care where you come from. Nobody has a right to do that. Least of all, Gavin Newsom working with billionaires by the name of Resnicks should never be allowed, even in my country. This is beyond ridiculous. It is an attack. It is an attack by wealthy people against American citizens, and it's time that we stop waiting for them to give us justice. It's time we start. They want the Wild West. Well, my grandmother grew up in that kind of, and she had a lot of bad things to say about the Wild West. And if California is the Wild West, then I expect to see some Wild West justice. And you all know what that means and how to do it. But no, we're woke. We're afraid of everything. It might mess up our nails. Um, yeah, they make a mockery of Americans who care about these people when they put up websites that go directly to campaign donations, not disaster relief. And if you give to the disaster relief, 35% goes to Gavin Newsom's campaign for president. Do you want that president? Do you want that man who sold off public land, sold off government land and government water, which made it public, to billionaires? Just two. And they own 90% of California's water, and that would be Stewart and Linda Resnick's. How much are they worth? $8 billion. How much are you worth? Not one drop of water. That's why no water has filled your reservoirs. That's why your water is gone. Gavin Newsom, through legislation forbidding private ownership of public lands, twisted up the law and allowed these people for almost 10 years to drain California dry. And now the people are suffering. I don't care about your politics. All I care about is that some insane person is running California and demanding billions more. How can anybody give to Californians while the criminal who caused this is still roaming the streets and all over social media? All I see is my hair good. Yeah, the reservoirs are full. The reservoirs are full. We don't know why the hydrants are dry. Well, Californians knew, and they've been putting it up on YouTube for over a year, and nobody would watch. Nobody would listen to them. And now they have lost everything. Everything. What makes this right? I know. Forfeiture of all of Gavin Newsom's assets and his money while he faces pending litigation. Those are the laws used on Americans if we do something like this. In fact, we would have already probably been looking at a death sentence because we're an American citizen. But I hate to remind Gavin and his billionaire Resnick buddies, they're Americans. American law applies to you. And it should be put up against you to its fullest force. If Trump doesn't come after you, I will never, ever. Trump better go hide in a box if he does not take on Gavin Newsom first out of the box before he does any kind of executive order. It better be that Newsom be imprisoned, assets and money taken and given back to the state of California so it can rebuild. There's billions there between the $8 billion worth of billionaires that own private land or public land and own public water have stolen. I know, and I'm sorry if my signal's bad, but YouTube has been suppressing my videos. So the only way I can get anything seen or heard is to go live with a bad signal. I apologize. Chest pains. Listen, I'm an old woman. Watching what happened to my White House when Biden took office, watching what's happening to my country right now is ripping my soul out of my body. I'm watching millions of people dying. 4 states before California fires. Their people are freezing to death. They're starving to death because FEMA stole everything from them and is not giving it back. They were hoping to give it all to Newsom because Governor Newsom planned this fire. He knew it was ripe for it, and he worked with the Resnicks to make sure there was no water to fight those fires. When you give someone like Gavin Newsom that much power, and coming off of Pelosi, he's connected to every single billionaire on the planet, yet he still walks free. People are dead because of him. How many are going to starve? How many are starving right now? I've seen the video the media puts up, oh, we've got these donations and this donation. Yet FEMA is rejecting claims from the average American for the $750 to help them get through this devastation. They're being rejected, just like we saw in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, who had the massive chemical explosion nobody's talking about. And they're complaining about the fog. All you have to do is watch that chemical plant explode, 8 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago? There's your fog, people. All the chemicals that came out of that explosion, they still have not cleaned up. Georgia is dealing with a chemical wasteland. California is on fire. And the other 3 states were hit by man-made weather events. I have never in 60 years ever seen a hurricane strengthen when it got on land. That's not possible within nature. That makes it man-made. And it didn't just go over once. It went over twice. It was the same hurricane. So when are we going to say enough? America, immigrants. I don't hear any voices saying enough. Where are the arrests? And now they're going to come up with some homeless person, certain druggie, or some American to blame it on, because they're desperately seeking a patsy right now. That's why there have been arrests, but they've had to let them go because people are saying, nope, they were probably paid. I could walk into Los Angeles a week ago and give a homeless person a little torch and $10. Go set me some fires. And they do it. So, wonder what Gavin Newsom offered the ones that he actually used to cause the fires, which are illegal immigrants. And under California law, illegal immigrants can't be held for crimes. Remember? You got rid of the law that says you could hold illegal immigrants. Now, I've seen different videos. Some are illegal immigrants causing fires. Some aren't. They're just homeless. Desperate people. And I'm telling you right now that this abuse of humanity cannot continue. The Resnicks, Stewart, and Linda, I saw your video where you were saying you were concerned about retaliation from the average American because they're wealthy. It's not because you're wealthy. It's because you stole federal land and you stole federal water through Gavin Newsom. Now you should have nothing. You should have exactly what you left every Californian with. Nothing. Enough. Oh, guys, this is really... My heart is hurting. My arms are screaming in pain right now because the thought of what has been done to so many people is overwhelming. So I'm going to shut down this live and see if I can get my heart back under control. I don't have any more nitro, and my prescription is outdated. So, and I don't have medical insurance. I'm just the average American. So I have nothing to gain. I have everything to lose by coming on here and being live and saying what I've learned. And if people don't care that billionaires bought our government land, government water resources, billionaires privatized government holdings for wealth, and now they're willing to burn and kill us all to get us off the land, because Tennessee, California, and Georgia, and no, not Georgia because of the chemical blast. It was Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina are seeing massive land grabs by BlackRock, Vanguard, and J.P. Morgan. No, they're just waiting. The minute your houses went up, they were there with their bid and offer for your land and your holdings. They want to leave you with nothing when they kick you out or starve you out. I gotta stop. I'm gonna have a heart attack right here on YouTube and on a live, and I can't have that. I gotta go. I love y'all. I'm praying with all my heart for y'all, and pray for yourselves. Please stop falling for this garbage and save yourselves. Get that government out. Arrest every one of them. They threaten your life. They threaten your livelihood. They threaten your children with this criminal act of sabotage of federal holdings for public use. And you cannot deny that it has happened anymore, because you're watching hydrants with no water, faucets with no water, and no way to stop it. And the Resnicks, well, they're not offering and have not offered one drop of California's water to fight those fires. The Resnicks are the billionaires who bought and privatized government public holdings, which is our land, our water, and our infrastructure. They own it. They bought it from Governor Newsom. They could not have bought it any other way. He was governor of the state. Only he could provide what they needed to have access to that federal land. I love y'all. And I've calmed down some, but I still got to calm down more. And if I can't calm down more, I will go live again. Because Americans, we cannot hide from this. If we are trying to hide, then they're going to burn us all out. They're already screaming about, we're ready to lock y'all down. Are you ready for that one? They got a new virus that they're releasing in the United States. And if you're not getting immunized, the vaccine, which is dangerous, unproven to even do anything, but cause resistance to your immune system. Are you ready for lockdowns on top of the fires, on top of the hurricanes? Are you ready? Are you really ready? Because I don't think Americans are mad enough yet. But they better hurry up and get there. Because there's not going to be much left of our country come the 20th. when Trump takes office. American Granny.